Waduh, cerah ceria semangat banget nih ya. Sudah siap untuk bisa memandu jalannya sesi panel discussion kakak?
Siap banget dong.
Siap banget, cek dulu lagi semangatnya. Semangat pagi Sobat IT. Pagi.
Tes.
Oke, kalau begitu Kakak Levina, saya serahkan padamu untuk bisa memandu jalannya panel discussion. Silakan, sekali lagi tepuk tangan untuk Kakak Levina. Terima kasih.
Thank you, selamat pagi semuanya. Semoga semangat hari ini. Ini udah hari Rabu ya, jadi mungkin energinya gabungan antara semangat tapi juga mungkin ada yang capek. Izin bakal berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris karena ada beberapa panel yang datang enggak dari Indonesia. So, good morning everyone. My name is Levina. You can call me Lei. I'm currently Senior Engineering Manager from Ruangguru. So, a brief introduction about myself. My job is like Heimdall from Thor movie. So, my job is like guarding production. I make sure that everything that I launch to production, whether it is software or any kind of apps that I deploy, are secure and also have a good quality and also reliable in production. So today, we will have a very interesting topic, and that's actually two of my favorite topics. Number one, it's about transformation, and number two, it's about guarding the production. And we will have three very great speakers today, and the first one is Mr. Jihai. He's actually a very seasoned transformation expert. He works at Barclays and also very top company, and he also become a mentor and industry expert in a university, and he's also an author if I'm not mistaken. So let me call Mr. Jihai. Yeah. Let's give him a clap, guys. Welcome. Okay, and the second one is I'm introducing Irene. I really like her background, yeah, because he's a woman in tech and also she's a software engineer turned a principal architect. So she knows the headache of every implementation, not only as an yeah, she literally knows the headache, guys. Not only as an engineer, but also handling the clients. And the last one, also my favorite background, he was also a software engineer, but turns out an agile coach. So if he is coaching you guys, he really knows, you know, what he is talking about. He really knows how to execute stuff. So let's go sit down, guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Boleh closer? Boleh deketan? Oh ya, oke, sorry. Iya, pada pengen deketan. Oke, izin mendekatkan diri ya guys, jadi lebih nge-flow diskusinya. Okay, so I'm sorry I will be talking a bit mixed in Indonesia as well. Sebelum mulai, aku mau ngasih ucapan terima kasih dulu untuk semua organizer dan juga attendees hari ini. Semoga enjoy dengan panelnya. Kita bakal ngobrol seperti yang aku bilang tadi, transformasi dan juga gimana kita bisa shift left about building security di early banget development. Jadi hari ini topiknya bakal menarik banget karena seperti biasanya dilema ya. When we are building business and we are launching products, we are in dilemma whether we would like to invest big on security in the early stage or we'll just launch and see what's going to happen after we are launching the product. So we will bringing some experts that will talk and share their experience. Not only as an engineer, but also for people that maybe have met thousands or hundreds of incidents from their clients, or maybe, and also they're also as an engineer. So I think the first speaker will be Mr. Jihai. He will talk more about, he'll be the first one allocate his time to share more about his experience on this matter. He'll have 10 minutes to share his experience. I will be asked some more. And for the audience, don't worry, you will have also a chance to ask the questions to us at the end of the session. So, the stage is yours.
Introduction? Should I have introduce myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks everyone. My name is Jihai. and thanks for the organizer to invite me again to join this conference. Actually, I joined the conference 5 years ago in 2019, just before the COVID-19 happened. I still remember it was a very good experience when I joined this conference. So yeah, after 5 years, I put my 20 kilogram on my weight. So yeah, so happy to join it again. So yeah, I'm working in many banks like HSBC or Barclays Bank for more than 10 years. I'm also working in Tencent, which is a big internet company in China, for 2 years. So I have the experience from both the banking and also the internet company. I'm happy to share my experience regarding this whatever DevOps or DevSecOps. So actually, we started to run DevSecOps in HSBC probably 6 years ago. So yeah, whatever on tooling or the people side. So yeah, I'm happy to discuss with other panelists later. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. So maybe because we are talking about transformation today, and I believe your background is focused more on the transformation, and you've met a lot of industry where, especially in finance, you work in a bank as well, right? Where I think to invest more on the change, you will meet a lot of resistance, especially to adopt new mindset, not only to invest in particular security, but like acquiring new tools, adoption and set of habits. Even changing a workflow, it can be a huge headache. Maybe can you share how to introduce changes, whether it's good to let's just go big bang, but it will be done in the faster way. But let's just take it slow, consistent progress over speed. Which what's your better feel on this?
Yeah, actually, especially in the bank, when we talk about DevSecOps, not only DevOps, so we have the cybersecurity now. The bank, originally, they have this, the data is very sensitive, like customer information. So I think regarding the requirement in the bank, the cybersecurity is very important already. Yeah, so compared with the internet company. So I think the motivation for us to run the DevSecOps in the bank, because we do have this requirement, this is the requirements. Yeah. So, but also the bank is normally for big bank like HSBC or Barclays Bank, they normally have probably million people over the world. So and also for different teams, the maturity level, the maturity, whatever on DevOps or cybersecurity are different. So we just talk about even we have very legacy applications, like 30 years old systems. Maybe the system is even older than some people here, right? More than 30 years old. Yeah. We also use some special language like IBM, RPG, and Combo. Yeah. So I think regarding this legacy application or even some window application, so if we want to make some change, it's very challenge. Yeah. Because it's for the legacy application, technically, it's very difficult to use out some tools, whatever Jenkins, GitHub, yeah, or Ansible. Yeah, we have to think about some different tools. Yeah, so to be used to establish this CI/CD pipeline to automate the process. Also regarding cybersecurity, it's another story. Yeah, so for the new applications, for applications to build the new system in the bank, it's easy for them to accept this mindset. Yeah, but for the people who stay there for 10 or 20 years already, they get to use about the existing flow already. It's very challenging to change them, the way of working. That's the reason we talk about transformation. We need Agile coach. We also need the tool experts, try to help them gradually, change their mindset. Yeah. So I think this is for a bank. So I told someone about the internet company. The reason, to promote the DevSecOps in the bank, because we have the genius in the bank already. We more care about cybersecurity because the data is very sensitive. But for internet company, when I worked at Tencent before, it's a very different world. So to be honest, I can download any package, any software from internet. It's more freedom. I know developers, they like freedom. Yeah, they like to do whatever they want. They like to use any language they want. Yeah, that's the reason they have more motivated thinking and do more innovation things because it's more freedom. But sometimes, the too much freedom means more risk, right? So this is the reason, when I was in Tencent, the internet company, the motivation for them to do the DevSecOps is because too much freedom for developer. Then there's too much risk. This is the reason they like to promote DevOps, like our topic, shift left the cybersecurity to everyone, all the developers. So they said everyone should be responsible for the cybersecurity, not only the cybersecurity department. So I think this is something different between the banking when we run the DevSecOps and also internet company. They have different motivation. We all have a different scenario. But again, if you would like to make change in the internet company, I think probably it's a bit easier because they like to try something new, different. And also, I think in the internet company like Tencent, their product is not as complex as the financial product. Yeah, because for the financial product, it's more complex. We would like to change a bit. It will infect a lot. So you have to be careful to change your infrastructure, yeah, or your artificial design. Yeah. So I think for the internet company, I think they have adopted Microsoft already, so probably it's easy for them to make change. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's very insightful. I mean, yes, you would like to change rapidly, but choosing and selecting the less complexity products can be an alternative, during the journey. And I think continuing the answer, I would like to also have a view from a coach that, during any change, there will always a setbacks, like people slowing down, it takes investment to adopt new knowledge, even other kind of setbacks, like when you're adopting the new mindset and suddenly there is incidents or things that it doesn't deliver the right expectations. Well, actually, it's just maybe the process that they need to learn before they actually maintain the good behavior in the long run. How can, maybe as a coach and also people that helping your clients to transform, how can you help them to navigate through the circumstances and also to check whether these setbacks is a sign that what they're design is actually, we are not selecting the right tools, or what design is actually wrong, or this is just a signing that we have already built the right feasibility, so the setbacks come up because we have already built the clarity. So what's your view on that?
That's my view on it. So the first is like, when you do a changes you normally see how they are implemented by management is always like, especially when we're speaking about DevOps or DevSecOps, it's like they're throwing a bunch of tools to people and then expecting them to use them. That's not going to work. That will never work. Every company is doing it, do it wrong. So what normally companies need to understand, or management needs to understand, is it's not just about selecting the right tools, it's also selecting the right approach, how we using and implementing these tools into our workflows, into our organizations. And there are change management models very famous to create awareness why we're using these tools, to create the desires why an operational person or a development person should even use these tools. Well, what's in for them? It's not just because management told them so. There must be a real clear answer to why somebody should care to use these tools. A good example is if you use, for example, Jenkins or GitLab for your CI/CD pipelines. I have seen development teams that are not even opening these tools and look inside these tools. They are there, they're existing, somebody else is using them, but the development team itself don't really, care about them. So it's not about creating certain behaviors and practices you really want to establish. And that's what, for me, a real mindset is. A mindset is not just, it's a strong word. A mindset is like when you embed anyhow practices and thoughts into people. When you see certain patterns evolving, that people really every morning opening their Jenkins, and for example, if the bubble is not green and red, that they are fixing problems, then you're moving in the right direction. And when it comes to, for example, if we are going the right approach, there's no right or wrong, because you never know if you're doing it correctly, just because you work with people and also tools, so things are fluent. So that's why I personally like when we do experimentations or piloting, we do it on a small scale, and if it works, then we do it on a bigger scale. And there should be also, to really see if we are successful, some measures behind. So we should be clear about certain metrics. What are we measuring? For example, the usage of tools, or if these tools really improving something, and then go forward from them, discuss it and go forward from them.
Thank you. So actually, you can try it out, pilot with a very small scale until you can build the right level amount of confidence. And just like you said, as there are no right or wrong, actually the amount of confidence that you are aim, it will be different every client and also every
Yeah.
company. Like, okay, and continue to that. I would like to check to Irene because I know she works with a lot of clients in selecting tools, and a lot of clients came with their problems, demanding a lot of stuff to her. So she is already expert on selecting tools. So I have personal experience in building internal tools in my company, and usually the first thing I invest is actually not choosing the tools that building a speed rapidly, but building feasibility first until we got the right accuracy. Then we will choose any kind of tools that increase the speed. But of course, this kind of approach is not suitable for a lot of people because they would like to see the speed on the short term, and immediate time, right? But for me personally, as somebody that guarding production, the right amount of visibility will give you better data to generate the right amount of conclusion, whatever conclusion that you might need, whether you would like to swing to select other tools, or you would like to increase the speed. So can you maybe share the best practice to maybe experiment and start based on the needs of a company that would like to practice DevSecOps? Where should they start? Maybe what should they know in the first place? Or there are a lot of tools that born every year. I think we have this conversation at backstage. How to be not overconsumption of the information and just, being FOMO. So that's all.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So yeah, as stated by our moderator, right? Actually, if we see like DevOps, DevSecOps, cloud native technology, even Agile itself as a framework, everything is actually being built to accelerate. So like, we'll keep up with the market demand in terms of like accelerating, like get out your product fast. But in terms of when we come to the customer, right? Usually we actually have some sort of like framework. Okay, you need to fix your planning first. You need to, as mentioned before, building like a feasibility first. In terms of like maintaining like what is the thing that we really need to do, how we are progressing stuff. So we usually start with the planning first. And then after that, like we some sort of like going through to the developer stuff, and then like how to like really automate and do the monitoring. But this one, this kind of framework itself, there is nothing right, nothing wrong, because we really need to come back again to our organization, and like we really need to assess what do we really need to implement. So for example, like everyone may not have the same starting point. That's the thing that we really need to take a keynote on this. So it's really like we really take it back. But in terms of that, if we talk about DevOps, if we talk about DevOps, if we talk about DevSecOps itself, right? Right now we are actually hearing about shift left. So like starting the progress of the security like really early in your building, in your planning or building phase. But in terms of this, it's actually should be like shift everywhere. So like you really need to take it down again to your organization, and then you see, for example, in terms of visibility and monitoring, I don't think we have any monitoring of our production application yet. The monitoring is not in place. So that means that you may need to shift right first. And after that, maybe in that term, all the application security is there. And then after that, the monitoring is also already there. So it's time for us to go to the hard part of shifting left and like really taking the time to changing the culture and the practice in our organization, to like changing their mindset to actually integrate the security first. So in terms of like choosing which one that we should implement first, I would say usually we go with the planning and the monitoring feasibility first, as you said. But it really as like no different starting point between each of your organization. So we usually talk with our customer, okay, which one that is really the pain point and it's really in the critical condition right now. That's usually how we approach it also. Okay, yeah, that's my take.
Okay, thank you. So everyone, please invest more in visibility, okay? Because, increasing the speed without visibility, it's like, driving 100 km per hour when it's very dark, without any like, so it's just like random speed and you can bump to anything. So please do invest more in visibility. So that's the first question, okay, points. And I would like to come back to Jihai. I think about the complexity that you shared before and about the headache that, of course, the transformation. About as well the visibility that we know that we need to learn. There are a lot of things that we need to observe from when we roll out any kind of change. If the tools work, whether the people can embrace the mindset, whether this is some things that management would like to retain in the long run, and a lot of things. What metrics, or maybe practically what things that usually you will remind to, especially to the leaders or at least mid-level managers, because they are actually the one who have powers, right? Realistically, yes, of course, in terms of agile mindset, we would like to have everyone to have the ownerships, but when we are talking about especially enterprise and big companies, the one who have power and huge significant authority is the leadership and also the management. How can you persuade them to notice and focus on the metrics that matter? What kind of metrics that usually you will share that you need to take more attention on this, and you need to learn from these setbacks or wins, and celebrate this? Maybe you can share.
Yeah, I think you are right. Definitely convince the manager is very important. Especially, normally we say, from whatever top to down or bottom to up. So I think, especially for the enterprise company, it's better from top to down. Yeah. So when working in Barclays, actually, and started quite a long time ago, when I started bottom to top, it's very challenge. I work like a salesperson. So I try to convince the team one by one. It's very challenge. So finally, when I try to convince my global head, convince him, then it's easy for me. Because he can push other people, push other managers to do this. So I think my recommendation is, so if in a big company, it's better, like I said, try to convince the big boss first, and then go to your middle manager, the medium manager. Yeah, and like I said, the different solution you can try to do it. But again, for cybersecurity, when we talk about DevSecOps, it's a slightly different from DevOps. Yeah, because DevOps, can help you speed up, make it faster, or make your product better quality. But cybersecurity sometimes is a bit tricky. Yeah, because because if you have many vulnerabilities in your product, if nobody hacking you, you're still safe, right? Yeah. So this is more about the probability. So sometimes because of the probability things, likelihood, it may happen or may not. Yeah. So this is something people, especially senior manager, they may have gambling, and gambling, nobody attacked me. Yeah, because if they like to do this, like you said, you have to invest in this area a lot. But if you invest in something, may not happen. So sometimes I talk to my teams, the cybersecurity is more like insurance. You invest in your insurance. If nothing happens every year, you thought, okay, should I invest again? But if it happens, that's serious, right? So I think this is something, I think compared with DevOps, DevSecOps probably is even more challenge to convince the senior manager, because sometimes you can't see the benefit. Yeah, you have to say, okay, if you don't do this, something may happen. Yeah. So this is something we, like I said, we have a different approach. Can try to convince the senior manager. Metrics definitely is one of them. Try to gather the data, visualize all the data, publish all the data, like your number of vulnerabilities, and also how much effort you need to fix them. And another, I think, a good approach we started to use probably 3 years ago. I think this is something I can share here. So we try to run one program called Cyber Camp. So for our developer, we normally from defense aspect. So we try to find vulnerability by using tools, fix vulnerability to make our product safe, right? But sometimes, most of the time, I think developers, their lack of motivation to fix vulnerabilities because nothing happened, right? Yeah. So this is something we change the way. We run some activity or program we ask the developer to work as a hacker. Yeah, so we ask them to attack your applications, not your production, your UAT environment. So this is something we started to do 3 years ago, and we have run this many times already. So if the developers can hack their product, the UAT environment successfully, based on their existing vulnerabilities, they will see the impact to their business. So I'll give you one example. We did this 3 years ago. It's one application. They published the news. So the team that supports the applications, then they're hacking the application by using the vulnerability in the system. They make it. They can change any content about the news, and they can publish the news anytime. So if then they realize, okay, if this vulnerability is still there, if hacker attacked it, they can change any news, some negative news about the company and send outside. They will damage reputation about the company. I think this exercise, can help whatever developer or even a senior manager to realize something may happen. Yeah, so try to simulate, this kind of simulation as a hacker, to simulate the hacking things. Then people will realize, okay, this is dangerous. Then they have more motivation, whatever for senior manager or even developer, to know, okay, we need to fix this, we need to invest on this. Otherwise, they may never care about that. Yeah, that's one experience I think is really good. Yeah, okay.
Wow, it's very creative idea. Yeah, it's like turning. Okay, nothing happened. So let's just switch the table and switch the mindset with other practice. And actually, it's kind of bring educating the preventive hacking right to others way, because if there is no incident, it's like people like, everything's fine and there's no incident.
Never happen, right?
Yeah, nothing's happened, and why should we invest in hiring a good security person, or maybe investing in the right tools until it is become a huge viral news in the social media. So.
Or you shouldn't wait until it's viral in the news.
Yeah. Okay. So, but from the Jihai's answer, I think about the lack of motivations, I would like to talk about that as well to Thomas, because the lack of motivations comes in a lot of stages, not only during the transformation. And we were talking about the metrics as well, right? From the leadership, middle managers, and also the executors, how we interpret and also perceive a metrics is very different. When I am an executor, when I perceive revenue like, oh, okay, it's good. All I know is that whether we are up and down, and I'm safe to work another day, actually. But as a middle manager, it might be a different mindset. And when I'm a CEO, it will be a different mindset.
Sorry, can I add more things about metrics? Sorry. So that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I think metrics definitely is very important.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to be careful to use the metrics. I think metrics are good. The tricky thing is how to use it.
Yep.
Yeah. So sometimes, I don't want to mention the name of the company. Yeah. But for the company I used before, when I worked before, sometimes if you didn't use the metrics very well, it just become the number game.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think this is something I want to say. Metrics is good, but be careful to use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Because not all metrics is answering the right questions, right? Because we have to, you need to design the right questions and select the right metrics to measure. Sometimes you're overwhelmed with a lot of metrics that you observe. So choose the right questions first. What metrics that suitable for answer, right? And continue to make questions. So not everyone interpret the metrics with the right way as well, right? And it also impact their energy and attitude towards change, towards delivering a project, towards productivity and performance as well, not only as an individual, but also as a company. So how can you integrate to communicate these metrics especially when you're building a DevSecOps? I mean, the DevSecOps metrics is not a friendly metrics, especially for business person, right? What they knew is the time to market, like maybe that's all. I'm trying to thinking another metrics, but I think that's all. Maybe complaints number, that's all. I think those two. But maybe how can you make the business and IT are in the same way?
Well, the tricky challenge you always have is when, look, the whole idea of DevOps and DevSecOps is to bring different departments, if you leave out the business for a moment, closer together, right? In the beginning, it was the idea of development needs to be closer to the operation because development wanted speed, operation wanted stability, so it collided. And that's why we wanted to that these people are working closer together, collaborate stronger, and be more effective. If we involve now the business as well, and probably the security as well, right? What we always need is more collaboration and more awareness, especially when you speak about, for example, of course, when you see from a business perspective, of course they care more about speed and more about value. So why would they care about security? Well, but if we explain them what for example, happens now with a certain company that is called, you probably all heard that, CrowdStrike, it's a massive image loss. They're just faced with a security issue they had publicly that went viral, it went nuts, because a single programmatically issue caused worldwide, probably the biggest incident we ever had worldwide. Whole airports being shut down just because there've been not enough testing before a rollout. So I think from a standpoint of this one, if you explain this one to the right people like business or even higher level management, they will understand, they will listen to you. And they should not, of course, they should not waiting until something is viral in social media or something. So, but you're absolutely right. So different people care about different metrics and also, of course, get measured by different metrics, and that's okay. That's okay. What I normally like to do is advising companies and also manager or like civil manager to have like shared KPIs or shared responsibilities on it. Because if we don't create these kind of shared understanding in the company, we still have our silos, right? We still have our silos. So that collides with the whole idea we initially had to bring people closer together. So I think that is very essential. Picking also the right metrics. Also was Jihai was saying, it's difficult. It's very difficult because environments are different, companies are different, and people are just measuring different stuff. So from a DevOps point, what you normally would like to measure is, of course, from a business perspective, something like time to market, but also you need to know actually how good is our development and delivery process, and how good is actually our operational infrastructure side we're having, how resilient is it, how good is the quality of delivery pipelines and processes, how good is actually the packages we deploy on it, right? How secure they are. And when you're picking the right metrics, at one point also it's important to make that really visible. What you also see in lots of organizations is some organizations make it very transparent. So you go into these offices, you have white monitors, and you have directly a unified dashboard that have all the metrics that matter. Business metrics, value metrics potentially, customer metrics, operational metrics, delivery metrics, whatever it might be, right? So, but they have it all unified in a single dashboard. I think that is an essential practice every company should follow. Because if metrics are hidden in anyhow a Grafana dashboard, like far away with 5 clicks, where somebody has to open it, it becomes not visible, it becomes not transparent. So people don't feel that they're potentially even responsible for these metrics, right? So they have anyhow an impact on these metrics. If you make it visible and you see, for example, even a tendency that you go up and down, then you probably create, sorry to say, but like a feeling of embarrassment. Like when things going down, and suddenly, your incidents on the productivity servers anyhow increase from yesterday like 20% or something, because suddenly you got a lot of attacks and anyhow all your servers going and crashing, right? So I think transparency is a key, and a unified dashboard with all the metrics visible to it is also a key practice.
Yes. Okay, thank you. But those answers actually get back to the invest in visibility. Okay. Okay.
That's the key.
Okay. That's the key. Okay. So before I open the Q&A from audience, I will go back to Irene because I would like to also know her perspective in as she is advising clients that actually have full ownership in selecting and taking their own risk. For me, I was a consultant as well, yeah. And sometimes it was like, maybe, yeah. When you're giving advice, of course you want the clients to take a decision from empowering mindset, right? Not, yes, we would like to share realistic news and incidents in industry, but we want them to take a decision not from the fear-driven mindset. They would like to invest wisely that, okay, we would like to invest in security, because that's how we invest in our product. That's how we believe in our customer and user, not because, okay, we are scared of the reputation damage. That is also important. But maybe how is your trick in make them invest more? Are you sharing what goes on in the industry landscape of the similar product that they have? What are the security knows to, at least to make sure they understand the pro and cons of selecting certain kind of tools or solutions that maybe you're facilitating?
Okay, so for this one, right, I'm gonna say, to be honest, if you're approaching, there's two kind of customer. The customer where they build their product as a business, or where they build their product as a technology. So we have like a two different kind of mindset. The one that focus on the accelerating fast, because if we are talking about some sort of like implementing security, as been shared by other panelists as well, is that you are taking more time to deliver to market. That's gonna be a big red flag for the business team for sure. For especially like the team that is focusing, the industry that is focusing more on the business aspect. So in terms of that, the thing that we do for them is that we do explain to them the pro cons of having this kind of security. Sometimes a little bit of fear needed. I cannot say that to completely take that out. But in terms of that, we also like explain in terms of what is the importance of the security itself. So what will happen if you don't implement it at all? Because if, as said before, like security is some sort of like kind of insurance. If you don't claim it, it's good. But if you claim it, there should be a problem. So that's why they kind of not seeing the importance of having security in the SDLC. And that's why also if the initiative going from bottom up, not top down, right? Usually it's kind of hard to make the management or the top buy in, because they may have a different perspective, or the time to the market will be longer, those kind of sort of stuff. So the thing that we do is that usually we explain like each aspect of the security, what will affect it if you don't have it, to them. Because in terms of this is the most effective way, but at least they are making the conscious decision based on their understanding of what aspect of the security is. So it's not like a product driven, should not be a product driven mindset. So it should be like, what is the importance of each aspect of the security will happen, will take turn to your application. Yeah, so that's the thing that we do.
Okay, so there's so you are aligning. It's not about the solution. What kind of solution that they need to pick or you have, but actually, what are the solutions that might be most aligned with their value and risk appetite, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, just like I promised, we have slot for around 3 questions from the audience. So I'm currently opening a slot for those of you guys that would like to ask questions to our panelists. Feel free to raise your hands. I will pick randomly for those lucky guys. Okay, the man in the black clothes. Is that black? Okay, I hope it's black.
Everybody wears, almost everyone wears black here.
That is.
Baik, untuk yang bertanya, kita sudah siapkan ada mic di kiri dan kanan, silakan.
Silakan, introduce your name, Mas. And mungkin kalau ada spesifik panelis boleh, kalau mau ditanya ke semuanya juga boleh.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ahyar. So maybe I don't know who can give me the answer, but you mentioned earlier that we should give metrics to our management to have them the possibility to take a decision, especially for DevOps in our organization. Can you give us like an example, the right metrics? For example, like when we suggesting an automated deployment for our production, since we have heard big tech companies already have adopted, why can we do that also, right? Can you give us the example of the metrics that we can explain to our management?
Well, how about we all give one? Is that okay with you guys? we all give one metric and probably
Yeah, I
explain why.
think he asked maybe different parameters. So, yeah, I can share some what we're using in our company. So one parameter we are using is the lead time. Lead time, yeah, will commit until your deployment to production. Before we use a release number. So how many release you go to production every month? Yeah, before we use that one, but later we found this number sometimes people can cheat. Yeah, people can deploy like configuration change, not code change, or maybe they separate one requirement into two. Yeah, two release rather than one release. So finally, we use lead time. I think lead time is a better parameter, can measure how fast you deliver. I think this is for speed. Yeah, and for the quality, we are using the incident number. So if something happen in our production, but we distinguish them into like business impact incidents, so which is serious, and also the not business impact incidents. So you separate different incidents. Yeah, but this is for quality. Yeah, but for cybersecurity, before we also used the number of vulnerabilities to measure the risk in your application, but now we drop it because we found that the number of vulnerabilities is more dynamic. So it really depends on the market. For example, if the Log4j happen again, something similar to Log4j happen again, your number of vulnerabilities will drop a lot. Yeah, does this mean your cybersecurity is not good enough? Maybe not, right? So this is the reason we drop these parameters for the number of vulnerabilities. Yeah, but we more care about the tools you are using, how many vulnerabilities you scan, and how many vulnerabilities you fixed. It's not more about existing vulnerability, because existing vulnerability is more dynamic. Yeah. So this is some example I can give to you, the metrics parameter that we are using in our company for speed, quality, and cybersecurity. We call DevSecOps. Yeah, maybe you can also share more. Yeah.
Go on first.
So I think most of the metric has already been mentioned, but in terms of this, when you want to buy in of the management, usually the thing that they will see is the productivity sort. So if I invest in this, how much of productivity it will increase, some sort of like how much lead time that I can reduce. So, and like how much deployment that I can actually deploy more, or like how many fixes that I can do. So in terms of this, the right metric will be some sort of like the lead time, and then after that, the number of successful failure deployment, some sort of that at like the failure, like the number of deployment. DORA metrics is actually the good place to start if you want to buy in.
Yeah, let me just add to this one. So since we speak about automated deployments, or deployment pipelines, so the term itself, automated, is crucial here. So what I normally like to measure is the percentage between manual steps we're still doing, for example, manual testing, and automated things. So if we're really speaking about 100% automated delivery pipeline, that is, that would really mean we have 100% automation. So UAT is automated, integration test is automated, functional testing is automated, all these kind of testing mechanisms, and probably even security testing, penetration testing, and even infrastructure testing is automated. So, just by showing management, okay, look, this is our delivery pipeline, or this is our delivery process that we try to automate, right, with any tool. Show them what is the percentage of the current automation we actually have, and what we actually can reach. Of course, not every company can reach an automated penetration test probably, or automated security testing or compliance testing. That's probably not possible. But at least you should discuss openly about that's where we are, that's where we want to go, and then you can also choose your investments probably wise based on it. And when the automation part is growing, you will what Irene was saying, you will increase your lead time. So your deployments itself, the time it takes putting something to production should be faster with more automation, because there's less human interaction, and human interaction, normally, especially with testing, takes a long time. With more automation, it's just way faster.
Okay, I'm probably adding some more. Again, whatever the metrics you are using, this is fine. Again, be careful to use it. Yeah, so I just share some bad and good examples. So we made a lot of mistakes before. That's the reason I don't like you to make the same mistakes. So again, I know some managers, they like to compete each other. For example, oh, why my number is better than yours, right? So and then look good, right? So don't compare each other because different teams have different situation. Yeah, so your metrics can't compare each other. You can compare yourself. You compare your number, compare with like a few months ago, how much you improve or not. Don't compare each other. I know managers they normally like to compete each other, so don't do that. Yeah, so I think this is some bad behavior, you know. And some good things, you know, I'll give you one example. Before, when we try to publish this metrics, so we use a monitor, like this big monitor here. We just put the monitor beside the team. Yeah, we don't keep this at KPI, but we publish everything. For example, if your code quality is bad, if your Jenkins build failed, it shows red on dashboard, it's published. Yeah, your manager may have a look during lunchtime. So I think people will feel shame if they have red on their title, right? So I think by using this approach, can make the culture change and can make the team really change their way of working. Yeah. So I just again use the right way to do the metrics. Metrics is good. Yeah, whatever the parameter you're using, but try to be careful about the way you are using the metrics. Okay, thank you.
Oke, ataukah menjawab, Mas? Puas?
Ya, cukup menjawab. Terima kasih.
Just don't forget, right? You need to measure anything, and if you improve that anything, it's an improvement. So you just start anywhere, I would say, right? Just go from there.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm sorry everyone. I know that I promised 3, but we are running out of time. But I'm very satisfied actually with the answer because it's only 1 question, but the answer was very detailed. And it's actually give a very practical example of how to prove your points to especially management and leadership when you would like to propose a new idea, giving an example of how automated deployment we can increase the speed of release, reducing bad deployment because, you know, when it is automated, we will prevent more human errors and stuff like that. So I'm terribly sorry, we need to close and wrap up. So before we are closing.
Well, we're still here, right? So you can all find us. We're still here.
They're still here, guys. You can find them and chasing them with any other questions. So any closing remarks, maybe? Maybe from Thomas first.
No, not at all. Okay, probably just one. Don't focus only on tools. I know DevOps is a lot about tools. You need to focus about practices. Establish certain practices with tools. If you have them, then you're on the right way.
Irene?
Okay, so yeah, as previously stated, it's not about the tools. It's all about your culture and your practice, like in this term. But yeah, it's focused on the culture, practice, and your fundamental as well. So not tool-centric, but it's more on like the fundamental aspect of the security of DevOps itself. It starts from the people.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you. And share 3 points with you. One, for DevSecOps, I mean, use cybersecurity tools to find your problem, find your vulnerability. Use metrics, you know, to visualize, publish your problem. Use people, you know, to improve people's capability to fix the problem, to fix the vulnerabilities. I think if you work on these 3 elements, I think you will be successful on DevSecOps. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone. It's a very good chat with you guys. So best of luck with your next step and any kind of activities with your next clients and also business projects. So I hope we can see each other again in the next conference maybe. And to close the remarks, so maybe from my side, there is one big conclusion from today. Number 1, visibility comes first. Number 2, find the right accuracy for you. So you gain the right level of confidence, then go on speed, and the last, build the right amount of comfort and experience. So thank you for today, and thank you for having us here. I hope you are having a good day, and I'll send you back to the MC.
Thank you. Give applause once again to Levina, Suprapto as a moderator. Please stay with me here, speakers. Kita akan memberikan plakat sebagai ucapan terima kasih dan kami undang kembali Bapak Hananto untuk bisa naik ke atas panggung Pak, menyerahkan token appreciation to all speakers. Speakers, please stay with me here. Stay with me here. Alright. First plakat to Irene Angreini, Principal Architect PT iZeno Teknologi. Berikan tepuk tangan Sobat IT. Thank you. Next to Thomas Rothe, Agile and DevOps Coach at NaradaCode. Thank you very much. And last to Jihai Zhou, DevSecOps Champion Barclays. Let's take a picture together. Okay. Join to the group for the take a picture with our moderator Levina. Please join. All right. Oke, lihat kamera. Smile in 1, 2, 3. Once again.